Exodus 28. And you bring near to you your brother Aaron and his sons with him from among the Israelites, so that they may minister as my priest. Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, Aaron's sons. You must make holy garments for your brother Aaron, for glory and for beauty. You are to speak to all who are specially skilled, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, so that they may make Aaron's garments to set him apart, to minister as my priest. Now these are the garments that they are to make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a fitted tunic, a turban, and a sash. They are to make holy garments for your brother Aaron and for his sons, that they may minister as priests. The artisans are to use the gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen. They are to make the ephod of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen, twisted linen, the work of an artistic designer. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces attached to the 2 of its corners, so it can be joined together. The artistically woven waistband of the ephod that is on it is to be like it, of 1 piece with the ephod of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twisted linen. You are to take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on 1 stone, and the 6 remaining names on the 2nd stone, according to the order of their birth. You are to engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel, with the work of an engraver in the stone, like the engraving of a seal. You are to have them set in gold filigree settings. You are to put the 2 stones on the shoulders of the ephod, stones of memorial for the sons of Israel, and Aaron will bear the names before the Lord on the 2 shoulders for a memorial. You are to make filigree settings of gold and 2 braided chains of pure gold like a cord, and attach the chains to the settings. You are to make a breastplate for use in making decisions, the work of an artistic designer. You are to make it of the same fashion as the ephod. You are to make it of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twisted linen. It is to be square when doubled, 9 inches long and 9 inches wide. You are to set it with a setting for stones, 4 rows of stones, a row with ruby, a topaz, a beryl, the first row, and a second row, a turquoise, a sapphire, and an emerald, and the third row, a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. The 4th row, a chrysolite, an onyx, and a jasper. They are to be enclosed in gold and their filigree settings. The stones are to be used for the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to the number of their name. Each name according to the 12 tribes is to be like the engraving of a seal. You are to make for the breastplate braided chains like cords of pure gold, and you are to make for the breastplate 2 gold rings and attach the 2 rings to the upper 2 ends of the breastplate. You are to attach the 2 gold chains to the 2 rings at the ends of the breastplate. The other 2 ends of the chain you will attach to the 2 settings, and then attach them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front. You are to make 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, on its ends, that is, on the inner side of the ephod. You are to make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the bottom of the 2 shoulder pieces on the front of the ephod, close to the junction above the waistband of the ephod. They are to tie the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the ephod by blue cord, so that it may be above the waistband of the ephod, and so that the breastplate will not be loose from the ephod. Aaron will bear the names of the sons of Israel in the breastplate of decisions over his heart when he goes into the holy place for the memorial before the Lord continually. You are to put the Urim and the Thummim into the breastpiece of decision, and they are to be over Aaron's heart. When he goes in before the Lord, Aaron is to bear the decisions of Israel over his heart before the Lord continually. You are to make the robe of the ephod completely blue. There is to be an opening in its top, in the center of it, with its edge all around the opening, the work of a weaver, like the opening of a collar, so that it can not be torn. You are to make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet all around the hem, and bells of gold between them all the way around. The pattern is to be a gold bell and a pomegranate all around the hem of the robe. The robe is to be on Aaron as he ministers, and his sound will be heard when he enters the holy place before the Lord and when he leaves, so that he does not die. You are to make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it the way a seal is engraved. Holiness to the Lord. You are to attach it to a blue cord so that it will be on the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban. It is to be on Aaron's forehead, and Aaron will bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the Israelites are to be sanctified by all their holy gifts. It will be on his forehead for their acceptance before the Lord. You are to weave the tunic of fine linen and make the turban of fine linen, and to make a sash the work of an embroiderer. For Aaron's sons you are to make tunic sashes and headbands for glory and for beauty. You are to clothe them, your brother Aaron and his sons, with him, and anoint them, and ordain them, and set them apart as holy, so that they may minister as my priest. Make for them linen undergarments to cover their naked bodies. They must cover their waist to their thighs. These must be on Aaron and his sons when they enter the tent of meeting, or when they approach the altar to minister in the holy place, so that they bear no iniquity and die. It is to be a perpetual ordinance for him and for his descendants after him. All right, not the most exciting thing to describe all of the clothing that is to be worn here by Aaron, but there's some important key things that are happening here. So, as it's describing the breastplate, the robe, the sash, the turban, all of these things, it is going to be for the priest. So the list of priests is Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. There are 5 that have been designated who are going to do this. So we're going to have potentially 5 sets of garments if they're all working at the same time, or if they're all various different heights. But maybe the ephod, the bronze plate, only one, because there's only one high priest. So we could have that. So some of these things might be multiples. Some are going to be one. You must make the holy garments for your brother Aaron for glory and for beauty. I wonder what that translation is. For glory and for beauty. The expression for glory and for beauty quotes anybody's to give him dignity and honor. Says that these things clothes were to exalt the office of the high priest as well as to beautify the worship of God. The meaning of the word glory has much to do with the importance of the office, to be sure, but in Exodus the word has been used also for brilliance of the presence of Yahweh, and so the magnificence of these garments might indeed strike the worshiper with the sense of the exaltation of the service. Yes, so these are supposed to point and reflect God. Totally get that. And again, it's supposed to be specially skilled with wisdom from the Holy Spirit, spilled with the spirit of wisdom, so they may make Aaron's garments and set him apart to minister as priest. So setting apart. is part of it. What do we have here in the footnote? To consecrate him. So consecrating, setting apart, making him different from everyone else. Now the garments are to make a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a fitted tunic, a turban, and a sash. Okay, what do we have here on the fitted tunic? The word tashbesh, which describes the tunic and which appears only in this verse, is related to the verb, also rare, of the root in 28:39 that describes making their tunic. Meaning is uncertain. So we don't know exactly what this is. The word fitted is the fitted tunic. Well, it's underneath, so it's probably not baggy on some level, is what we're going to have. So all of those things are to be made for them, the work of artisans, using gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen. The ephod is the first one, is to be gold, blue, purple, scarlet, fine, twisted linen, the work of an artisan. The two shoulder pieces on the two corners, so it can be joined together, and a woven waistband. You are to take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone and 6 on the remaining stone, according to the order of birth. You are to engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel, the work of an engraver on the stones, and they're to be set in gold filigree. So I don't know exactly how many sides the stones are to have. Are you to find a stone like a dice with multiple sides and their names are written around it? Is it to be a flat stone with, 2 D6? That's how I kind of picture it. Sometimes would make sense if you're using these, but these are attached to the garment. So what might make better sense, and this will look silly, but if it's just a stone that's flat and then it's a list of their names on it, it could be that. It could be that. Or it could be some other 5 or 7-sided device, 7-sided stone, and the names could be around them with a name on the top. So we don't know exactly how these stones are set, but that's part of what it is. And the point is, Aaron is bearing the names. Aaron carries the names of the tribe. He is the representative of the people. He represents every single tribe when he goes into the presence of God. So they are there. They're engraved on there. They are sealed on there. They are not going to be lost. They are always carried before God when he goes in. It's a constant memorial. Here are the names. Here are the tribes. Here are the ones that God has set apart, that he has called, that are there. So that's what we have on the ephod when he goes in to go before God. And then we have the breastplate used for making decision. What do we have on the footnote here? The breastplate of decision. The first word rendered breastplate is of uncertain etymology. The item was made of material similar to the ephod. It had 4 rows of 3 gems on it bearing the names of the tribe. In it were the Urim and the Thummim. Hayat refers to similar object found in Egypt reliefs, including even the twisted gold chains used for hanging it around the priest. Okay, and we're also going to get the description here of this breastplate, that it has a waistband that goes all the way around as to tie it so it doesn't flop around when the priest moves, and it's to be bound at the top with the ephod. We're going to go through all of that, but it has the stones of the 12 tribes. Now, here's what it does not tell us, okay? Which group of 12 is it using? Is it using Levi and Joseph, or is it using Ephraim and Manasseh? So a breastplate of decision, to me, might need to have Levi in there instead of Ephraim and Manasseh. And also, Aaron, when he's bearing the names, does he bear the name Joseph, or does he bear the names of Ephraim and Manasseh and leave Levi out of it, because Levi is already God, so he doesn't need to be born before God? So my guess is that one of these had Levi, the other did not. That's a possibility. Maybe it had Levi in both. It just says the 12 names. Well, Levi is excluded from the land. Does that mean he's excluded from the names here? If you're making a decision and you're trying to figure out which tribe needs to do something or which tribe sinned, and you've got the breastplate and the idea, don't have it here, but I think it's mentioned later. If not, it's from other ideas, that the stones would glow in some way when you were trying to determine which tribe is the one who is at fault for this. So you're trying to figure out, cast lots for that. Let's say you have the Urim and the Thummim, in order to help with those. They're somewhere on this as well, which sounds like you can take them off at times and cast them, or reach in and draw out one, and it's going to give you an answer. But we have representation here of decisions, and it's a stone. Each tribe is a different stone. Why each one is which, I have no idea. Which one is which, I don't know, other than we could go align birth order here and make the assumption that birth order, because it said we're going to put them in here in birth order, I would guess here would also be birth order. So we could guess that. You are to make the breastplate, braided chain, light cords of pure gold, and to make the breastplate of 2 rings. So we're getting, again, how do we attach it? We've got gold that is going to be used. We've got gold chains. We've got gold connection rings that are there. We have the ephod being attached to it. The breastplate loose, already mentioned that. You are to put the Urim and the Thummim into the breastplate of decision, and they are to be over Aaron's heart when he goes in before the Lord. Aaron is to bear decisions of Israel over his heart before the Lord continually. So it almost sounds like on this side is where the Urim and the Thummim go into this side, but it said the rows of things, so not entirely sure. He's to bear the decisions of the people when he goes in before the Lord. Now we move on to the robe of the ephod, completely blue. We have a blue robe. There is to be an opening at the top. So again, anyway, as we did have this described. So the robe sounds like it's one piece with a collar that is open with embroidery around the collar as to prevent ripping. Later we find out that the high priest is never to rip his garments. It is forbidden for the high priest to rip his garments. It is, so in other words, here is also making sure there's no accidental ripping here and to make it difficult to do. And then we have more descriptions, gold bells, pomegranates that are going to be all around the hem of the robe. It is going to be blue, purple, scarlet, all around the hem. So the hem is going to have decorative around it, but the whole robe is blue. And the bells are so that when he goes into the holy place, you can hear him moving about. He so that he may not die when he is in there. Later on, there is the sayings, the thoughts, which I believe is extra biblical, of tying a robe around, because realizing if he dies in there, nobody can go in except the high priest once a year. So if he doesn't come out, are you waiting a year for the high priest to go in to retrieve him, a new high priest? So the idea of tying a robe on, so if the bells stop moving, you can pull on him and pull him out, and nobody has to go in. But that's not in this text. You're to make the plate of pure gold, engrave on it the way a seal is engraved. Holiness to the Lord. So now we're getting a nameplate. Holiness to the Lord. You are to attach it to a blue cord so that it can be on the turban. So a blue cord is attaching the engraved holiness to the Lord nameplate. So Aaron is to have that on his forehead, and he's to bear the iniquities for the holy things which Israel are to sanctify by their holy gifts. So we have the holy to the Lord, devoted to the Lord. Aaron goes in and this is for the people to know. Okay, this is not for God to know. These symbols are for the people to know that Aaron is wholly devoted to the Lord. He is bearing that. What if he's got the wrong? No, God sees, God knows, God understands. He is bearing all of this. He is bearing the holy gifts. It's on his forehead. It can't be forgotten. It's right there for all to see. And then you're to weave the tunic of fine linen and make a turban of fine linen and make the sash the work of an embroiderer. So we've got a turban, we've got a tunic, and we've got a sash. I don't know if the sash goes across like this or the sash goes around the waist. It doesn't really give us that description. Aaron's sons are to make tunic, sashes, and headbands for the glory and the beauty. So this was all of Aaron's. Now we get the sons get tunic, sash, and headbands. What do we have there? Is that not a turban? The reference to a headband wrapped around the head, forming something like a brimless convex cap, assembled sometimes like a half egg, refers to headgear of ordinary priests. So the high priest has a turban, the rest have a headband. So wrapping around the head with the top exposed, but a turban is covering everything. You could see them all at once. Yeah. You are to clothe them, your brother and his sons. You are to ordain them, anoint them, and set them apart as holy so they can minister as priests. So here is the garments they're to wear, and they are to be set apart as holy. Setting apart is to be different. So you're setting them apart as holy so they can actually serve. So they are ordaining them. They are, three things: anointing, ordaining, and setting apart. So there is a ceremony that is going to take place. You are going to be doing this. You're going to put them in practice, in the role of this. And then one last thing. Make for them undergarments to cover their naked bodies. You are to cover them from the waist to the thighs. Now, thigh might mean thigh. Thigh might also be a euphemism here for male body parts. So from the waist to the thigh means that you're not going to see anything. It's a clear either way. These must be on Aaron and his sons when he enters the tent of meeting, or when they approach the altar to minister in the holy place, so they bear no iniquity and die. So there's no exposure. There's nothing happening. It's a perpetual ordinance. Seems really funny that you need to have undergarments, but a common person may not be wearing undergarments at this time. They're covered, but if you're going to serve and you're going up steps, which we haven't had any of that described yet, but you're going to go up above, you might be exposing yourself from below. You don't want to do that. So there are undergarments to make sure that this can't happen. Doing that.